What happens when you put SPJIMR PGPM participants on the hot seat and ask them questions aspirants are too afraid to ask? We built a conceptual truth detector. We aren't detecting lies over here, but we are detecting hesitation. Red means they are hesitating, green means they are being completely honest. Let's ask them interesting questions and yeah, let's the fun begin.
So hi, my name is Yatharth Agarwal. I have completed my engineering in 2020 and I have around 5 years of work experience in the field of EdTech program management. So I was working as a technical program manager for multiple EdTech companies, and my most recent role was as a manager in business operations with this EdTech company called PhysicsWala. So after 5 years of experience in program management and business operations, consulting and strategy was something that I wanted to dive deeper into, and hence MBA was the right option for me, which is what brought me to SPJIMR.
So I'm Anjali Thakur and I have been born and brought up in Jamshedpur. I completed my graduation from National Institute of Technology, Jamshedpur in civil engineering. After that, I worked in Wipro for about 4.5 years as a senior data engineer, where I worked across multiple domains from telecommunications to banking and financial services. Post that, I took a conscious break to prepare for UPSC exam, and now I'm here at SPJIMR.
So I'm Harsarjan, and I come from a healthcare background with having done my bachelor's and master's in sports physiotherapy, and I've had exposure to healthcare innovation, research and academics along the way. So even though I belong to a healthcare background, I've had this interest for health tech and data for the longest time now. And for instance, in my last workplace, I developed 2 healthcare products with the help of my team, of course. And that was the point where this interest for pursuing an MBA started. And the whole point of pursuing an MBA for me was specifically to get a formal learning and exposure from a renowned institute before actually diving deep into the landscape of businesses and corporates. And so that is why I'm here at SPJIMR right now.
So that's very comprehensive. Yeah. We'll dissect it question by question.
Yeah, done.
Okay, Adat, I'm just curious. So you left your full-time job, right? And now you're a student again. So do you feel that financial burden, or do you feel that you're missing out on opportunity when you look at it that way?
To be very honest, I don't think so, because when I made this decision, it was a very thought out decision. I did the math. I calculated the return over a long period of time. MBA is a long-term investment, right? So I did the math and the ROI worked for me, so I went ahead with it.
Okay. Is it what you feel? Okay, green it is. Just curious, since you come into a class, you have people from different experiences, probably does it ever bother you when somebody, let's just say a junior, takes a lead in a project? Like, are you comfortable him leading it, or how do you feel about it?
I guess it's fine. I don't think I mind it all that much. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay. Does the ego hurt a bit? Tell me the truth.
Okay, to be very honest, when you are working in corporate and you have around 5 years of experience, you naturally become the go-to guy, the person that everyone reaches out to. But when you are in a classroom and you see people from diverse backgrounds and people who may have a lot more experience in any particular field, and then when you interact with them, you do realize that they are smarter than you. So yeah, sometimes I do feel that even if they might have slightly less experience than I do, but you have to swallow your pride and go ahead with it.
Okay. Is that the case? Anjali, since you come with a very different experience, have you found yourself, pretending to understand a concept just because, the class is moving too fast and, you don't have the time to understand it then and there?
We have group discussions. So even if I don't understand, I usually do ask.
Do you?
Absolutely. You are talking to an engineer. Sometimes the finance classes are like going at a speed of 100 miles an hour. And you simply just have to nod along with the class to be a part of the group. But then when I initially said that every person has a uniqueness to themselves, right? So what the cohort brings is a lot of diversity. And then we have group discussions where we get into the depth of the details and try to understand the concepts really well.
Wow. Yeah. Let's address the elephant in the room. Do you feel that engineers look down on your quantitative skills because you come from medical?
So let me rephrase it for you. When you walk into a room with people who eat and breathe data, you get intimidated by it for sure. But very honestly, due to my interest and skill set in data, I have been able to keep up with the whole pressure of quant heavy subjects. On top of that, I think it is imperative that I put in double the efforts to get there and to be able to match the IQ of the room.
Does your non-traditional background give you an edge in case studies, or do you eventually end up following the professor's chain of thought?
So I think a 100% yes. I think my background does give me an edge because I bring a more human-centric and grounded approach to discussions in class. And secondly, I think the whole point of an MBA cohort is the diversity it brings to the table. So in addition to that, our faculty here comes from a range of different backgrounds, ranging from tech to other non-traditional backgrounds. And they try to loop in their experiences through mediums of case studies, and we get a bird's eye view of, I think, each domain per se when we have discussions on those particular approaches.
Okay. Green light.
Okay.
Anjali, you're an engineer. B schools in India, they have a lot of engineers. And when you come to a B school, do you feel that you don't stand out, or do you feel that way with your experience and the kind of pedigree you come from?
Not really. I think everyone comes with a unique flavor of their own.
I get a red flash over here.
I mean, when an interviewer looks at a stack of resumes, so engineering is something which is not your USP. So you definitely have to prove yourself that you contain way more than the technical background that you come from. Right? So it's not the USP dish for sure, but then everyone has a uniqueness to themselves. So when I have worked in the IT services sector, then when I took the conscious break to prepare for UPSC, I think that was really transformative. It made me more disciplined. It opened a horizon of all the socio-economic problems that the world faces, the country faces. The decision of MBA, it was not a reset, it was rather a progression from data to execution, from more decision science to impactful roles.
You mentioned UPSC, right? From UPSC to MBA, how did that shift happen?
Yeah, so when I took that conscious break from my job, I was preparing for entrance exams. Primarily, one was from the government side, which is UPSC, and another one was the common aptitude test for MBA entrance exams. So there I thought of this college to be the best suit for me, and yes, now I'm here.
Okay, yeah, thank you for your honest answer. Did your prior work experience actually make the MBA easy for you, or was it a lie you told yourself?
Definitely it does help. I'm 100% sure it helps because it helps me add a lot more context to my discussions in the classroom. I'm able to just understand things a lot more better with a lot more clarity. Yeah.
Okay, green light it is. Sirjan, you're coming back to academics, of course, how was it for you? Was it very seamless?
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
Really? It says otherwise.
Oh. Honestly, I think I would not say it was given us to in a platter, but I think there are times and there are phases. For example, we have a few recreational sort of lectures. For example, we have personal growth lab, simulation labs, club activities for that matter, which act as fillers in our day-to-day traditional and formal learning, classroom learning for that matter.
Right. So these are non-classroom activities that you really enjoy. And that is helpful for you to get started.
Yes. So those are the things that we really look forward to because they give us a break from the routine academic rigor. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And let's talk about the placement myth. Okay. This I wonder, and I'm sure a lot of people also have this same question. So have you ever seen somebody getting ahead purely based on just because they know someone you don't?
See, skills are the foundation. There is no substitute to it. Networking opens that door for the skills to be seen.
That's true. One honest question, and I think a lot of people feel the same way, right? When was the last time you felt that you were genuinely not good enough compared to people sitting next to you?
Not that frequently, I guess. I mean, I feel pretty confident, I guess, on most days. Yeah.
That is not what it says.
Okay, well, to be very honest, it's quite a frequent feeling, not feeling all that confident, because again, you are surrounded by so many people who have such diverse experiences, and in a lot of subjects, you will find that they know so much more than you do. But it's about trying to keep up with the rest of the class, trying to engage as much as you can, so that you can kind of build up your confidence as you go along.
Okay, that's it, Yatharth. I think some honest answers. I mean, you eventually gave all the honest answers, but thank you for sharing your experience.
Thank you so much.
Okay guys, that's about it. This was our video. I hope you had fun. If there are any questions which are left unanswered, feel free to ask them in the comments below and we'll do our best to get them answered. Also, there's a link in the description that talks more about SPJIMR PGPM and what the course has to offer, so do check that out. Meanwhile, this is Seth from Team Inside IM signing off.